Hello, Recettear, Recettear. Just doing some more training. This isn't the actual next video that I said a long time ago was gonna happen, and it's not happening. But yeah, I'm gonna dedicate some time now to training, and I don't know. I figured I would do some on camera, because before I end the LP, I want to show off what the multiple of 10 floors look like in this dungeon, because well, I mean, it's mostly just a normal dungeon floor, but it's kind of, I don't know, even if you're expecting it, it's weird to see a go home door right next to a next level door, the way they put them together. I mean, sure, you see them together in boss rooms, but they're always like separated a bit. I don't know, it's weird. I want to show it. Plus, it's just like this random go-home door in the middle of the floor. So yeah. Oh yeah, I also wanted to show that I have enough merchant levels that I can carry 35 items. You can see at the top there, even though I can't scroll all the way through the empty slots, because it never puts empty slots in the inventory. So yeah, being able to carry 35 items is pretty nice. Ropers are annoying. Because, I was mentioning this to someone else. When you've got a ranged attack, you can pretty much pick off most of the enemy types. I mean, like, there are the enemy types that you have to have, like, ranged duels with. But, most of the enemies in this game have a movement pattern where they kind of wander around and aren't really that threatening if you have distance. But ropers will always be persistently chasing you. So even if there is like a good amount of distance between you, if you don't do anything, they're going to close it, guaranteed. It isn't like a knight where you can just like keep shooting at them and they might approach you eventually. But if you just run away a little, it'll take them significantly longer to catch you. And that's the story of why ropers are annoying. Also, why do I keep thinking those laser beams are gonna hit the other enemies for me? I guess still because I've been playing Devil May Cry, the reboot, and enemy attacks can hit other enemies in that game. Especially the ranged ones. I mean, I believe melee attacks can hurt other enemies too, just it doesn't come up as often, because there tends to be less room for error with melee attacks. Whoa! Hi. Oh, another hammer arm. Okay. I can buy those in the store, but fine. And I'm bad at dealing with these guys. At least they were in a corner like that where I could actually hit them without taking a hit before getting to disrupt their position. Because I don't know, often if you're approaching a hallway with them and just in the middle of the hallway, you just need to take a hit if you're Arma. A character I would recommend for doing Crystal Nightmare would be Griff. Would not recommend Arma. Would not make this choice if I was actually just like playing. For one, because she starts at a low level and you gotta train her a ton, but I just don't feel she's the optimal character. Maybe she just needs some weapon, because the thing about Arma is that her playstyle changes entirely if you get a new weapon. It's not just more stats. It's probably like all the weapon effects that they could code easily. Well, maybe not easily, but maybe they had more ideas and wrote them up and then didn't have characters for them. I wonder if something like that happened. Oh, well. Oh, I can go down more. Forcing my way through. Yeah, fly into that. Yeah, I guess I should be clearing out enemies, because the point is to get level up, not to clear the area. Although clearing the area is nice too, because you get treasure boxes as you explore. And I mean, maybe there's still some good treasures in Crystal Nightmare in this floor set that I can get. That's just a dead end. Yeah, the green ropers with the orange bodies, but their enemy type is determined by their tentacle color. Because, you know, the different colors actually mean things. It's been a while since I mentioned that, so I might as well mention it again. But yeah, the green ones aren't so bad because they're like really slow. But the, I think it's yellow with the blue body, but they're the yellow roper. That's the bad kind. It will hunt you down. And I mean, if I had a weapon that attacked faster, like Griff's Claws, Louis' Sword, and not the Pandora units, then I could deal with them better. But, I mean, these missiles are kind of slow, and yeah. So, Ropers, I hate dealing with them as this character with this weapon. I do have the hammer arm with me, and I could, like, keep swapping weapons and always keep a protective field of hammer arm balls around me, and that's really annoying to do. Takes longer than it's worth. And I mean, once you see the enemy that you would want them to deal with, it's too late to deploy. Pretty much, anyway. Alright, next floor. Will-O-Wisps will appear soon. Oh, man, that's an enemy that I couldn't hit, because this weapon, it's a really good weapon, I still feel. Just some situations. So let's see, I was saying something about something, wasn't I? Oh yeah, Griff, he's amazing. Yeah, like he has a really solid basic attack, speed, reach, swing. Like his reach isn't amazing, of course, but I think it's better than Louis' reach, slightly. And his arc is certainly better. He hits things more to the side, and his swing doesn't take any longer. Oh man, I thought it was safe there. Okay, so he also has probably the best spell in the game for general adventuring. His like big life drain thing, the Dark Vortex, Vampiric Vortex, whatever it's called. It's amazing. So yeah, Griff in Crystal Nightmare, pretty great. I don't know who I would recommend for the boss rush. I've never attempted the boss rush. I imagine I would still like Griff, just because his second skill, his like Darkness Overdrive, whatever it's called, is amazing for bosses. I might also consider the mage, because he can certainly burst down things. I'm just worried about his survivability. I didn't fire that one to the right. Wow, these guys hurt. Oh yeah, because they're red. Funny. Whoa, I don't want to be in that explosion. It would have killed me, I bet. So, maybe I should drink a melon. Whatever. You drink melons. There's enough water in them, especially if they're watermelons. Don't lie. I wanted to say drink a potion, because that's what you do in so many games. But, melons. They're not potions. I accidentally hit Z there. Oh yeah, this weapon is amazing for killing these things, because it has just that little bit of side reach, but it's also far enough away that they're not just going to face diagonally and hit you. Oh, this is me tanking hits because I want through an area. What? Missed call, okay. They must have dialed the wrong number and realized it before I picked up. Seriously, who gives you half a second to pick up? Or maybe I had like... I don't think I had a reasonable amount of time. Defined as about 2.6 seconds. In the rules of Munchkin. That's a funny card game, if you have friends to play it with. I wonder if there's an online version. That would be pretty amazing. I would play Munchkin with my online friends. Which Munchkin? There are many Munchkin expansions. I mean, the classic is always classic, but maybe you want to make fun of Kung Fu movies instead of Dungeons and Dragons. Or not make fun of, but have silly things related to. Munchkin Bites. I don't like Munchkin Bites, actually. I guess it's because the players always feel weak no matter what you do. Like, the items just aren't as good, and it's mostly, like, consumables. I don't know, maybe it's a better designed game, and I would have more fun if I really got into the political side of it. But, like, I often play with just, like, 2 or 3 people if I'm playing Munchkin. And maybe Bites is one for a larger crowd. Oh, maybe I should actually explain what Munchkin is, instead of just thinking which expansion is my favorite. It's a non-collectible card game. You just buy the deck, and that's what everyone draws from. And the goal is to reach level 10. Because you're an adventurer, and you level up each time you defeat a monster. There are two decks, a treasure deck and a door deck that represents the doors that lead into rooms of the dungeon. There's no like dungeon layout or anything. It's just you draw the card and that's what you're encountering. It could be a trap, it could be a monster, it could be a class that you can change to. They're just general cards that either help or hinder you. And like there are also ways of getting dungeon cards into your hand. If you don't encounter a monster on your card draw, then you can just either draw a card and put it in your hand, or fight a monster that's already in your hand. I think the two actions are called Loot the Empty Room and Looking for Trouble. But yeah, so that's the basic setup. And monsters combat is very simple. If you plus your effective levels from items are greater than the monster's level, plus any modifiers, like if it has like a bonus against your race or a penalty against your race, then you win. Unless somebody interrupts you. Because like they might play something that enhances the monster, or play a second monster with the Wandering Monster card. Also, if you're losing, then you could ask for help from a player. They could join the fight with you. You could run away, and if you fail to run away, then whatever it says on the card under the bad stuff happens. So the idea isn't that you do anything particularly skillful during combat, because it's just a simple number comparison. But it's a very political backstabby game themed around going through a dungeon. Well, I don't know. Mostly it's actually about whether you can get somebody to help you, and then who gets the good treasure cards so that they don't need help anymore. And then at the end, everybody gangs up on whoever's level 9. Or level 8, if you're, like, ahead of the other people. But I don't know, it's a lot of fun. The cards are silly. Like, you can find, like, Boots of Butt Kicking that give, like, a +2 bonus to your level. Your effective level. You still need to reach actual character level 10. You don't get character levels from items. And some monsters are worth 2 levels, but every monster is worth at least 1 level. So that's interesting. So yeah, it's a very streamlined RPG experience. But it's not about the RPG. It really isn't. It's about silly things happening. Like that crazy encounter where somebody like makes a monster humongous and adds its evil clone, but you use your like disappearing gun to make one of them go away, or maybe you play the practice match card and the entire encounter doesn't even matter because it was just a practice match. Practice match is in Munchkin Fu, so it's a kung fu trope thing. Or you might have like Banana Fu. Your mastery of fruit is limitless. I think that gives +3 if you have no weapon. It's a style. Yeah. Styles are like classes, but you can have them in addition to classes. And they're silly too. Yeah, so yeah. You can like steal cards from each other if you're the thief or whatever. I don't know, it's a cool game. I would recommend it as like a party game. It's not like a serious thing. Also, like, the rules encourage you to try to cheat. I usually wouldn't try to cheat unless I had the card that says cheat. But, I mean, that's not really cheating, because the rules text says you can equip an item that you wouldn't normally be able to equip, such as equipping 3 hands worth of items, or a big item when you already have a big item. Or, wait, I know it works on complex items, but you can only carry 1 big item to begin with. So maybe you can't equip 2 big items with cheat. Or maybe if you can convince your friends that you're allowed to, you can, because the rules encourage you to cheat. No, it totally means equip and carry. I don't know, I haven't read the rules on the card in long enough to actually know what it says. I'm gonna die if I don't pause right that moment. Let's drink 2 melons. Because this speed roper wants my blood. All of my blood. Because I'm a golem, and golems are well known for having lots of blood in them. Ah! Yeah, because I can't effectively fight any of these monsters while this roper is chasing me. Oh, hit the roper, please. No. I can try to get a lead on it and shoot back at it, but you see that it's just not working. This is why I complain about ropers so much. Okay, I think I can actually blast him. And these other ropers are slower, so even though I let them murder me a little, I can actually kill them. Alright. So, yeah, Munchkin. It's an amazing game. Just the base game is fun, and even though I call the other variants expansions, you can buy Munchkin Fu and play it alone. Or you can combine it with your original deck and have, I don't know, crazy stuff. Oh. I'm actually going to waste all my SP killing them. Because I have no other use for them. There's not going to be a boss at the end. There we go. Deaded. Special Inkwell. Those are rare. I needed those for something. I think to upgrade my hat as a some level fusion, because I just have like a hat that I found. Equipable. Yeah, the Ishtaril. I think I needed an Inkwell. I better not die. I'm going to use another melon now. Oh, I was going to use some Pheromone. I brought it with me for the purpose of using it, not just to look at. But, I mean, those were some pretty good-looking medicine bottles. I mean, don't get me wrong. Oh, good thing I used the melon before getting here. Maybe I should have used another, because I'm still missing, like, a melon's worth of hit points. Okay, we're on floor 17, so we're not doing bad. I think I'm down to about half on my melon supply. Oh, there's a knight in there. I didn't see him, but I heard the rocks hit him. Da, da, da. I've leveled up in this dungeon already, right? Let's see, what else is good? I've played Race to the Race for the Galaxy, Race to the Galaxy. I played that like once. It was pretty fun. I don't know. Collectible card games are fun too, of course. I should play more Shadow Era. I've only played it like twice or 3 times, something like that. Like I played with Bertrudor a bit, and that was pretty fun. He used one of his weaker decks, and we each won 1 game. And I've played the AI just a couple times. Yeah, I should play that more. I don't know. I wonder how Cardmaster Conflict is doing. I haven't played that in forever. Because, like, I said one thing on the forums and then got embarrassed and never showed my face ever again. What had happened was, they have, like, balance discussions that are actually, like, relevant to game balance on the forums. And they were debating adding an ability that makes it so that, or not an ability, a keyword that makes it so that you can only cast the spell on your own turn. Or I think it also applied to activating monster abilities. And they had just had a big discussion about something unrelated. And somebody was like, now we just need somebody to get a list of things that might need active. And so I did it. I thought it would be useful. And then like somebody made like some sarcastic comment about how they just had a big debate about something and they didn't need another big change debate right away. And I mean, maybe, yeah, it probably was right to let the balance sit around for a bit. And maybe there were some people that appreciated it, but I don't know. I don't know. I took it the wrong way. I should play again. That was fun. Yeah, Cardmaster Conflict is a little like Magic, except your resources are automatic and persist between turns. Like, you get 1 mana of each color each turn, and there are only 3 colors. And so it was interesting that you might have, like, generators that make more mana for you. Well, you almost certainly would. Unless you were some, like, really serious rush deck. Oh, consumables are still half as effective. I'm gonna try to survive with that one. Cardmaster Conflict. Yeah. Right. Even if you only had generators of one color in your deck, you would always want a little of the other colors of cards, just so that you could spend the automatically generated mana, because it would build up over time. I don't know. It was interesting. An interesting quirk. I walked right into that one. Oh yeah. This color roper isn't as bad because it periodically backs off. Maybe I'll use the egg toast and the apple I've picked up, and the other apple I've picked up. Because even though they're small, and even smaller now, it's less recovery wasted, but I don't know, I feel like I'm going to need more hit points before this floor ends. And even if I did save them, it wouldn't be... Yeah, I'm not losing out on too much by using them now. Okay, it wasn't trapped. That's always good. This is dead end, and I'm going to get shot, except I didn't. I don't know. I think my favorite collectible card game that I've played, well, mostly because I played the Game Boy Advance version where all the cards are free. I mean, you get boosters by winning battles, just like any good digital card game that you don't pay real money ever for cards. I don't know. Non-online digital collectible card game. Oh, nice, the exit. Yeah, I played Duel Masters, and I really liked Duel Masters. Plus, I feel like if I had the physical cards, I like that you pretty much automatically have all the stuff you need. Like with Magic the Gathering, even if you have your deck on you, you might need to find like some paper at least to keep track of your life totals. Well, in Duel Masters, you put down 5 shields, and you don't keep track of hit points on anything at all. Not even yourself. I guess Pokemon does the same thing, except your Pokemon had hit points. You didn't. You had prize cards that defended you, kind of. So that's kind of backwards compared to Magic. You keep track of your creature's life, but not yourself. Of course, you don't kill trainers, so there you go. What? Oh, there's a bee! Did not see him there. Oh, enemy attack power is doubled. That's why I'm getting so murdered so quickly. I guess I didn't read the rule effect. Rule effect? Floor effect. So yeah, this is apparently the episode where I talk about card games. One hybrid cardboard game. Well, it's mostly a board game. No, it's mostly... I don't know what it is. One game I'd really like the opportunity to play is Space Alert. It's a cooperative card game. Have I talked about it before already? Whatever, I'm going to talk about it. I know I haven't talked about it this episode, so that's good enough. So, how to explain it? Okay, it's also like real time, kind of. Oh man, I'm gonna get so incredibly murdered because I got slowed there. Hitting that box did a number on me. Good thing that... Whoa! I'm gonna die. Okay, I actually have one more melon. Thought that was gonna be my last. So yeah, bad things happening on a double enemy attack power floor. I couldn't slow down or else the speed ropers would have hit me. So, Space Alert! Now that I'm on, hopefully a safer floor. Auto Mapper won't work. Yeah. So, you have, like, 4 to 5 people. And, you have a board that represents your spaceship, because it's Space Alert. The spaceship is a sitting duck class ship. It does never move. So, this spaceship is the board. And, you'll have a soundtrack playing as you play. I think this is a rare drop. I want it. And the soundtrack will announce various events happening. And it'll be like enemy ships incoming, or like borders teleporting onto your ship. Just various things that are approaching. There's also I think it says data transfer that lets you you have just a few seconds to decide you want to give one of your cards to an ally. There's also one that just prevents you from talking, unless you like don't obey it, of course. I think it's like I forget what it's called, but it happens. And as all this is going on, you of course have to flip over cards as the soundtrack tells you to, and you put little markers on them that indicate like which one they were, if it was one that happened at. Oh yeah, it announces a timestamp too, and the game I think is 12 turns long, and as the soundtrack is playing, you set down cards on all your turns that'll either be like move, activate a station, or whatever. And then after the soundtrack is done playing, you evaluate your entire plan, and you determine whether you survived everything that came in. So it's a lot of planning, it's a lot of fun. You can, of course, move your tokens around as things are going on and try to guess what's happening. But when the soundtrack ends, you reset the board and just evaluate it based on what the cards say. Like if you put a move... Or, no, there's no move down. There's move left, move right, and use elevator, which moves you either up or down depending on whether you're on the top or bottom. The floor is... or the ship is a 2x3. And each room has a weapon, something that happens if you use energy transfer, and some third action. Because each card has two halves, a movement half and an action half. The actions are A, B, C, and battle bots. Yeah, A will always fire the room's weapon. Some rooms actually have two weapons, and the second weapon is fired with C, because C is miscellaneous actions. C will allow you to grab battle bots if you're in one of the two rooms with battle bots. Unless somebody's already taken the battle bots, then you can't. Battle bots, if you have battle bots, will allow you to attack internal threats. I think if your battle bots are damaged, because some internal threats have the returning fire property, then you have to get back to a BattleBots station and use C to repair them. C was what allowed you to originally grab them. And then, let's see. So A fires weapons, yeah. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what all the weapons are. The top of the ship has the heavy cannons in it. Heavy cannons cost energy to fire. I'll get more into energy later, but it's an interesting mechanic. The bottom side rooms have light lasers in them that don't cost energy to fire, but only deal 2 damage. They're unlikely to get through enemy shields, but if you fire them on the same turn as a heavy laser, it stacks. Enemy shields refresh every turn, so if you want to like coordinate dealing tons of damage to their actual armor, or actual hull, whatever it's called, you have to coordinate your weapon fire so that they happen on the same turn. Yeah, and then there's the pulse laser at the bottom. Bottom middle, I mean. And the pulse laser hits all 3 lanes, because there are like 3 incoming lanes that enemies will be on, but at a shorter range. And that deals, I think, like only 1 or 2 damage as well. And I think it costs energy. And your action B is energy transfer. If you're in the top half of the ship, it'll transfer energy from the bottom half's corresponding room, because there's the left, the middle, and the right, of course. Wow, I'm getting murdered by just these 2 enemies. It'll transfer energy into the weapon, and once energy's in the weapon, the only way to get it out is... Oh wait, no, does it no, it doesn't transfer energy into the weapon, I think. It transfers energy into the shields. I think weapons consume energy from the bottom. I'm not sure that... I haven't played in forever. I should play it, solitaire version, because you can just play without the timer, because there are cards that say all the same things the timer has. That's also in case you don't have a CD player. You can read the events off the cards, and you can have a sixth person that just acts as a timekeeper. They have a timer or stopwatch or something, and they read the card off. Oh man, I really hope I make it to the exit. It's looking bad. But, I mean, I'm on the exit floor, so it's also looking good. Oh, bees. If those hit me... Oh, exit! And there's the door. Go home door. I want the go home door. Yes! Okay, so you can transfer energy into your own shields, which do not refresh every turn. Every point of damage they take depletes the shield's 1 energy. And then the bottom of the ship... If you use energy transfer in the middle, it consumes one of your 3 fuel rods to refill the main reactor completely. And if you use it on a side room, it transfers from the main reactor to the side room. I just wanted to finish explaining the space alert. We're done here. See ya!